Welcome everyone to What's New in BigQuery session. I'm Sudhir Hasbe. I'm the Director of Product for Smart Analytics Platform at Google Cloud.
And I'm Tino Tereshko. I'm a product manager on Google BigQuery.
So at Google Cloud in the Smart Analytics team, our vision is to give you or provide you with an enterprise class data platform with proven dependability. At Google, we believe in building these large scale services that can meet all your security and trust needs. So we basically have been focused on that. In addition to that, we are also about being open and flexible, providing you with choice. And finally, and most important, we want to embed intelligence across the whole platform. So that's our primary vision in the smart analytics team. Let's talk about BigQuery first. Google BigQuery, it's now 10 years old. In June, we celebrated the 10th anniversary of BigQuery. BigQuery has customers from few terabytes to hundreds of petabytes. It's a completely serverless technology. What do I mean by that? It means you don't have to worry about any infrastructure pieces. Just bring your data and start analyzing, start writing queries on it. There is no monitoring, there is no administration, there is no machines, there is no nodes, there are no servers that you need to worry about. So most of that is managed by Google. We take care of all of that for you. The second thing, we are highly differentiated. We provide you capability to ingest tens of millions of events in real time into BigQuery. And a lot of organizations like King, which is a gaming company, they have in-game events that happen, and they want to stream that in real time so they can analyze what users are doing on their platform. So it's possible. And when you ingest large-scale events, it does not impact your query performance on top of that data, because we completely distribute or decouple our compute and storage layers. In addition to that, we have embedded machine learning capability where you can write SQL commands to create machine learning models and get advanced predictions. And finally, we don't want insights to be limited to few in the organization. We want insights for everyone. We have made a lot of investment in this space where BigQuery is being used by organizations like AirAsia, where they were able to reduce their operational costs in an airline by 5 to 10% by making those insights available to everybody in frontline so that they can make better decisions. So those are the key capabilities that we provide. One thing that BigQuery is great at is scale. We are really powering some of the largest of the workloads in analytics space. Our largest customer has more than 350 petabytes of data in the data warehouse. One of the largest queries that was run was roughly 100 trillion rows that were queried in a single query. And now we have seen up to 10,000 concurrent users being used by one of our customers. So concurrency at a very high scale is also supported in BigQuery. Let's talk about HSBC. It's a systemic bank. It's highly regulated. HSBC uses BigQuery to run a lot of large scale analytics for a lot of regulatory reporting and all. One of the key things that we were able to do by working with HSBC is provide a lot of security capabilities in BigQuery, like CMAC, that's customer managed encryption keys, virtual private connect. So all of these VPCSC, all these capabilities we built with HSBC. They are proven. They're used by some of the largest banks in the world. In HSBC's case, they bring data from 40 plus countries, all transaction data. They put it into their data lake slash data warehouse with BigQuery. They analyze all of this data, and at the end of the day, they have to report to regulators about the viability of the business based on all this data. And all of this is running in few minutes, which used to take, like, I think 30 hours on-prem systems and stuff like that. And you have to do this every day. So with 30 hours, you cannot go ahead and report every day. So on BigQuery, they can do it in few minutes, and it's allowing them to scale their business.
So BigQuery is much more than a data warehouse because we have so much advanced capabilities. But one strength of BigQuery is the fact that it is a part of a tightly integrated, broad, smart analytics platform that includes services like Dataproc, Data Fusion, and even Looker. And actually, the vast majority of BigQuery customers are using a number of these services together with BigQuery. And Sky UK is one of them. Of course, Sky is a broadcaster, and they provide these enhanced set-top boxes that communicate data directly to PubSub, Dataflow, and BigQuery for real-time analysis. What that enables Sky to do is to really understand the customer deeply. They're able to understand, to visualize what customers are doing, what they're watching, their preferences. They're able to tailor, customize content and advertisements, so on and so forth. And they even can do research on customers by doing A/B testing.
And if you look at the growth of BigQuery, like we have seen tremendous growth in last year or so. We have customers across every industry vertical, across every region in the world. We have large customers like Home Depot to UPS in United States. We have HSBC, we have Sky, we have King, we have various different customers, Metro, Ocado in EMEA. We also have customers in JPAC region like Fast Retailing Group, ANZ Bank, and Gojek and AirAsia and all. So we have seen adoption across the globe by different customers with different kinds of use cases and scenarios. So for today's roadmap session, what we did was we've taken some of the key highlights in the roadmap and we're going to share them with you. And we're going to do this across the three value pillars that we have, being open and flexible, intelligent, and with proven dependability.
Let's start with proven dependability. HSBC and Sky, of course, multinational corporations that put their trust into BigQuery to drive their business forward. So we really need to take care of our customers in this area. So what we think about it is we enhance dependability in four areas: availability and uptime, administration and control, performance and just query execution, and finally, trust, security, and governance. Today, we're announcing the fact that we are enhancing our SLA by an additional nine. So now there's four nines availability that we guarantee. Right? We're doing this free of charge to all of our customers. There's no special rates that you have to pay. The reason we're able to do this is because we have serverless architecture. It's very advanced, radically unique architecture that does guarantee against downtime in specific circumstances. So this four nines of availability is really only about 4 minutes of downtime per month, or less than an hour per day. And you note that it is actually industry leading when it comes to cloud data warehouses. All other cloud data warehouses only offer three nines of availability. And of course, we care about performance and our customers care about performance. So we started running this query in the last few years to demonstrate the power of the query. This is a query that is a simple point lookup, but it is a query on an entire petabyte worth of data. So in 2016, when we first ran this query, it executed in about 6 minutes and it scanned the whole petabyte. In 2018, a couple of years later, we executed this query in just 2 minutes, and it actually scanned about 400 megabytes. Today, if you run this query in BigQuery, you will notice that it takes about 4 seconds to run. And the best part of all is that you didn't need to do anything special. You didn't need to pay anything extra to start getting this better performance. We just upgraded your service for you seamlessly without any downtime, and you just got better performance. In fact, just in 2020 alone, from the beginning of the year, we've made major improvements to all the typical industry standard benchmarks. This is a TPC-DS benchmark, and we're looking at the geo mean of performance. So both for 1T, 10T, and 32 scales, we improve performance anywhere from 20 to 30%. And again, you just get this performance as part of using BigQuery. You don't have to do anything, and it just happens. So we have a number of customers in all kinds of areas, and of course, sports leagues and sports teams are taking advantage of BigQuery. Major League Baseball being the newest one. There's a breakdown, DA204, that talks about the journey that MLB took to kind of replatform onto BigQuery. Well, the first thing they notice when they start using BigQuery is the fact that they're able to give this information, to give analytics to all the key stakeholders within Major League Baseball and the teams that are part of the league. And they're able to do this in real time. right? They don't have these bottlenecks anymore. At the same time, they're getting performance um, that's significantly better than the previous platform. And finally, it's very, very easy for them to manage this, right? Because BigQuery is serverless, there's really not a lot of things for them to worry about, and they really like that. So we talked about how BigQuery is serverless, it doesn't require administration. That said, the more customers we have that are multinational, that are complicated, they have lots of business units, the more they're asking for better control, better predictability, better visibility, right? So we've made significant investments here. Just in 2020 alone, we've launched a number of improvements to BigQuery. The first one being reservations. Reservations is an enterprise grade workload management platform that allows you to achieve predictable pricing and to make sure that all your workloads are executing under the proper SLAs. And it's super efficient because it's using idle capacity. The next enhancement is flex slots. Flex slots allow you to purchase capacity just for a few seconds at a time, and you can cancel them anytime. You essentially get instant capacity to meet your workload demands. And for the classic database administrators out there, we've made a number of enhancements as well. One is information schema. These are just tables that contain metadata relevant to your service. We've made enhancements to data types, and we've made improvements to SQL dialect as well. I'm really delighted about this feature. It's coming in the next few months. BigQuery Slot Autoscaling. So this kind of combines the best of both worlds, right? You're getting the price predictability of slots-based pricing, and you get like the low management overhead that's associated with our on-demand model. BigQuery Slots Autoscaling allows you to configure your scaling limits and your spend limits, and BigQuery takes care of the rest. We'll simply scale up and down your workloads depending on what you throw at BigQuery. So some of the things that are really relevant about this is the fact that this supports the auto pause and auto start mode. So we can go from 0 to full scale and back to 0 if you'd like that. Because we are not powered by VMs, you get a lot of additional advancements. So for example, we don't have this pre-warm period when you're not getting optimal performance. The second you get your capacity, performance is at 100%. Also, if you have queries in flight, queries that are being executed, you can add capacity and those queries would immediately start taking advantage of that, right? So you can accelerate queries in flight using BigQuery Slots Autoscaling. Because we don't have VMs, we're not powered by local disk, right? So we don't have those local disk bottlenecks. If you start running out of local disk, you start getting performance cliffs that are unpredictable. They're hard to monitor for and hard to document. We don't have such problems, right? We always have hot data for you. And finally, we kind of already talked about this in the SLA slides, but we can provide a high level of reliability because we're immune to individual node downtime. In fact, a huge portion of a data center can come down, and you're not even going to notice that. The next feature we're launching in the administration in the next 2 months is admin panel UI. Now we have Stackdriver for monitoring, which is incredibly powerful, but our customers want us to also have BigQuery native monitoring capability. So admin panel will provide you with the ability to monitor your queries, your slots, your resources, your spend, your workloads, and your users right in BigQuery from BigQuery. This will have a real-time component to it, so you can see what's happening right this second, and you can go back in time several weeks and months. So how are you going to use admin panel? Well, you're going to be able to figure out how your organization is using BigQuery in general. Who are your top users? What are the types of queries they're running? And you're also going to be able to perform real-time root cause analysis whenever things go wrong. Maybe there's a for loop that went awry. So you want to catch that and you figure out what's going on and move on. Customers always ask us, you have all these pricing capabilities, but how do I choose which model to use? Which one is the right one for me? And how much capacity should I purchase? So we're launching BigQuery Slot Recommender. With BigQuery Slot Recommender, we're going to run this intelligence, and we're going to send you insights automatically that will actually recommend whether you should be on the on-demand model or whether you should be on the slots model. And of course, we're going to do this without sacrificing your performance. So if we're going to tell you that there's a recommendation out there, it's going to recommend you to save money without actually sacrificing performance. So we talked about availability. we talked about administration, we talked about performance, but probably the most important aspect of BigQuery is its security, right? Our customers trust us with their data and their workloads, and we can't fail them. So we have a kind of a three-pronged strategy here. The first one is uh, BigQuery is a part of Google, and Google employs thousands of the best security engineers in the world. They're working on security on custom hardware, networking, penetration, so on and so forth. And BigQuery gets to benefit from all of this innovation. Right? That's the beauty of BigQuery. And that's the first pillar. So you just get a high level of security automatically with BigQuery. The second pillar is the fact that we're giving you a number of controls and configurations and services that enable you to customize how much security you want in your environment. Things like Sudhir mentioned, customer managed encryption keys, virtual private networking. But the key to this component is data catalog. Data catalog is a metadata management and discovery service that we launched recently. So imagine your data coming into Google Cloud. Data catalog can automatically index that data. Then the data passes through data loss prevention API and removes and tokenizes PII information and private and secure information. And then you can apply tags and policies to this data and grant access to the right levels of data to the right users inside of your organization. So it's a super flexible, super powerful platform for data management that allows you to really control how your data is exposed internally and externally. And the third pillar that's critical to our success here is the fact that we're working with all the relevant agencies to achieve these audits and certifications, right? So if you're storing medical data inside of BigQuery, you know you can trust us because we have HIPAA certification. If you're storing financial data inside of BigQuery, you know you can trust us because we have PCI certification. If you're doing business in Germany or Singapore, we have proper credentials as well. And with FedRAMP, we can do business with government.
With that, now we talked about proven dependability. Let's switch gears, talk about the intelligence. One of our key capabilities in Google Cloud is, of course, our capabilities around machine learning and AI. And we're going to talk more about how we are enhancing our embedded machine learning capabilities that we are providing with BigQuery. We'll also talk about some real-time analytics improvements that we have done. But before that, let's talk about democratizing insights. One of our key value pillars in Google Cloud is we want insights for everyone. We want to make sure every individual person in an organization can get access to the insights that they want. So in this realm, the first thing that we are doing is our refresh to BigQuery UI. A lot of our customers have been asking for capabilities in BigQuery UI, like multi-tab editing. We are adding that, so it's now available for everyone to use. It's a really great experience where you can write multiple different queries, compare them, but more importantly, you not only write SQL for BigQuery, you can also write Dataflow SQL and create streaming pipelines with PubSub and Dataflow in combination with BigQuery. So it does allow you that integrated experience. It's a faster IDE. One of the other features I like is this autocomplete for me, so it can recommend or suggest what are the table or fields that I should be using and stuff like that. So a lot of innovation and investment going in that space. And the second thing, I'm super excited about this feature, which is connected sheets. Connected sheets is literally think about Google Sheet in front of BigQuery. Um, you can have petabyte scale data sets in BigQuery. You can use sheets to go ahead and create pivot tables, charts, functions, and custom calculations on top of the sheet, and then all of that actually runs on top of BigQuery. So it's best of both worlds, the great experience with great analytical engine. I personally use this every day. I have a 29 plus billion row table. I analyze data from that every day about our product usage, what's working, what's not working, and all. So really, this makes data at scale accessible to all analysts who can use spreadsheets within your organization. So really powerful tooling. But with that, we don't want to stop at analysts and just a few folks in the organization. We want to extend insights to everyone else in the organization. With that, we are announcing availability of data Q&A. Our data Q&A is natural language interface for BigQuery. You literally go ahead and ask a question, get an answer. It's as simple as that. There is no setup required on top of BigQuery for leveraging it. You just enable an API, pick the table that you want to go ahead and ask questions on, and we just make it possible for you. So you can just start leveraging it. Um, we also believe that no one interface is the right interface for technology like this, right? I think organizations want to build custom workflows and custom experiences on top of such a technology. So we do have the whole API available for data Q&A, where organizations can literally build their own experiences. But from Google side, we will be integrating it in Google Sheets with connected sheets plus data Q&A. Now you have a very powerful experience. We will be providing chatbot experience. We will be working with a dialog flow and various other experiences that we can provide directly, including BigQuery UI will have a version of this. Um, all of this is actually built on internal Google technology called Analyzer. There's a great paper that you can read more about it on. But fundamentally, this is the same technology that powers Google Assistant and various other services and products that we internally use. Analyzer gives us ability to go ahead and do question parsing, intent identification, entity matching. All of that comes because of Google's investment in this space of natural language, conversational understanding, and all. And we're just leveraging parts of that. We are on BigQuery side making sure that that works really well with your custom data sets, and we can make it easy to go ahead and get started without doing that much of preparation and setup on your data sets. Let me switch gears, talk about embedded machine learning. One of the key values that we have in BigQuery team is we want to bring computation to data, not the other way around. We don't like moving data, copying data. That's not the best way of running large scale analytics. And so in the same realm, 80% of time data scientists today are spending in data preparation, according to some studies. We want to avoid that. With BigQuery, what you can do is you can just use 2 lines of SQL to create machine learning models. You literally say create model name of type X regression, matrix factorization, whatever you want, and then give the input data set, and we will do everything for you on that. We do internal hyperparameter tuning. We take care of the whole system on the back end. When we launched a couple of years back, we only had regression and logistical and linear regression models. From there, we have come far, far ahead. We now support k-means clustering, matrix factorization. I've seen a lot of organizations use this in combination. They do customer segmentation using k-means clustering. They do matrix factorization to find products that we should recommend to those segments, and they basically done email campaigns and ad campaigns on it. So very common pattern. You can use this for. In addition, we've also launched time series forecasting. This is great for inventory optimizations and stuff like that. So we've seen a lot of interest in this model. But in addition to that, we have enabled BigQuery ML to be the SQL interface for a lot of our capabilities in Cloud AI. So DNN classifiers, XGBoost, and AutoML tables all are using Cloud AI platform services in behind the scenes, and you still get the same consistent experience that you have. But most importantly, a lot of our customers said to us, hey, all these models, creating them easily and running batch workloads is great, but I would love to use these models in real-time predictions. How do we enable that? And so we have enabled you to go ahead and export these models directly into TensorFlow model. And so you can export it as TensorFlow model and then host it in any of the serving platform that supports TensorFlow, which will be ML Engine, Kubeflow. There are various platforms that are available that you can run this with. With that, we covered the democratizing insights, especially with data Q&A and connected sheets, embedded machine learning. The third area of innovation that we have spent significant amount of time is in real-time analytics. As I earlier mentioned, we have customers that are putting in like tens of millions of events per second within BigQuery. And just this year, we rewrote our whole storage engine from like a batch first mode to a streaming mode. So it's a streaming first storage system now, and we can scale to any of your needs. Tens of millions of events per second is without any problem. The more important is none of your queries will get any have any impact on performance because of that ingestion rate. So we can do tens of millions of events and give you the same query performance in the real time when that's coming in. The second thing is materialized views. When you have a lot of these data changes happening batch or in stream, you want to materialize your data set and views so that you can easily power the dashboards and reports that you may have. All of this is automated in BigQuery. Once you create a materialized view, as the underlying data changes, we persist it in the materialized view for you. What that means is you don't have to worry about scheduling these. You have to not have to worry about when was the last update made to the base table, but nothing like that. We will always keep it consistent. And most important is query rerouting. What that means is if you fired a query to BigQuery and you created a materialized view later and you had this historical query, we will automatically take that query. Our query parsing engine will realize that you have a new materialized view which can make the query run faster, and we will automatically leverage that. So that's there. It's available in beta for you to use now. BI engine is another third investment in always fast, always fresh theme for us. BI engine, we launched the BI engine last year, working with Data Studio, so that we had an integrated experience. We wanted to test the technology, make sure it can scale to global needs and all of that. So I think that is there. It provides you a sub-second latency query capability. It automatically tunes your queries as they come in and all. But more importantly, in this year, we are going to extend that capability of BI engine, which is our in-memory caching engine, to all the queries in BigQuery. So when the query comes in, it will be able to leverage BigQuery even from a standard BigQuery interface. In addition to that, all your JDBC, ODBC drivers will support it, and also all of our BI partners like Tableau, Looker, Sisense, Domo, Power BI, all of them will be able to leverage the BI engine capability that we have. You just pick what your size of cache is, and everything will automatically work. And then, and also one of the other things we will support is star schemas, so that all your BI workloads are taken care of. Extending that, if you really think from a stack perspective, you as customers today now have a choice. You can decide whether you want low latency or you're okay with relatively higher latency, and you can decide how much you want to use on the very hot data with caching with BI engine, or you just want to create materialized view, which we will keep fresh all the time, or you want to just use partition tables or just go to the storage layer directly. So all of this is a choice that you have, but you write a query, we will automatically first try it, BI engine. Not there, go to materialized view. Not there, go to partitioning and clustering. If not, go to the core storage, however the data is stored. So that's the key thing that we've been working on. You will always get the best performance at the best price, so you can pick and choose what you care about. With that, we covered intelligence and proven dependability. Let's switch gears and talk about open and flexible. This is another big theme for us. We'll cover like BigQuery everywhere, flexible pricing, as well as data platform interoperability in this. Let's talk about BigQuery. BigQuery everywhere. We are introducing BigQuery Omni. What is BigQuery Omni? As I earlier said, we have this theory or vision in BigQuery where we like to bring compute to data. And a lot of our customers have data not in GCP. A lot of them have data in AWS S3, and maybe other customers have in Azure. So with BigQuery Omni available for AWS, we will allow you to write queries and execute and do analysis on top of the data that's stored in S3. What does this mean? We will literally run our compute engine or computation engine of BigQuery in AWS closer to your data. And what that means is you don't have to worry about paying for this egress charges or anything. So you may have tens of to hundreds of petabytes of data in S3. You can start writing queries with the same interface in BigQuery, with the same SQL dialect that we support, as well as and run it on AWS. So you'll be able to do computation in that and then get access to the results. There are two or three different kinds of use cases that are becoming really prevalent in this. A lot of our customers do have split mode. A lot of our customers use BigQuery and GCP, as well as they have data in S3 and AWS. This is going to allow you to have a single interface to analyze data across clouds. And as I said, we will be bringing out the BigQuery Omni for for Azure in coming quarters. So that will extend it to that platform too. So that's one. The second use case that is becoming pretty prevalent is I've been talking to large customers who have tens to hundreds of petabytes in S3. They don't use GCP today, but they're intrigued with our capabilities like the BigQuery ML, embedded machine learning capability, and they want to use it. And so in this case, what we can do is we can enable those organizations to do data preparation, summarizing the data, identifying the key data sets that are there, and then just move the data that you want to run machine learning on to GCP on in BigQuery, and then run those machine learning models, do advanced analytics with it. So those are the different kinds of use cases we are seeing in the early adoption that we have seen. We are learning as we go, and we would love for you to request access, get access to this technology, and would love to co-innovate with you in this space. With that, let's talk about pricing.
So we talked about how BigQuery has some of the largest use cases in the world. But what's interesting is BigQuery probably also has some of the smallest use cases in the world. And it's really because we built our system to be scale invariant. And we built the right pricing options to support that kind of the gradient of scenarios. So no matter where you are in terms of scale, capability, and requirements, we're going to have the right pricing options for you. So we do have a perpetual free tier where you get 10 gigabytes of storage for free and a whole terabyte of execution, query processing for free, no strings attached. And we have pay-as-you-go pricing, which is serverless pricing, incredibly efficient. You don't have to think about anything. But as you kind of graduate and become bigger and bigger, you start caring about additional capacity. You start caring about price predictability. So we have flex slots there that are recently launched. And then all the way out to the largest use cases. If you really care about efficiency, you care about price predictability, and you're working on these types of annual budgets, we have flat rate pricing for you. So wherever you are, BigQuery is going to have the right pricing options for you. And of course, you're not just using BigQuery. Typically, our customers are running Spark workloads, data pandas, data frames, other types of execution engines. And at the same time, they keep their data in other places other than BigQuery storage, right? So whether it's MySQL, Postgres, Cloud SQL, it could be potentially Bigtable, it could be Google Drive, and it could be open data lakes like Parquet and Orc. So we provide interoperability with all of these layers. So BigQuery Storage API and its ecosystem of open source connectors allow you to run Spark, Pandas, MapReduce, and other open source workloads directly on top of BigQuery Storage at high levels of throughput and parallelism. So it's as if you're running these workloads directly on open storage, directly on HDFS without sacrificing performance. It's a very unique and differentiated capability of BigQuery. Now, if you want to leverage BigQuery SQL, and if but your data lives outside of BigQuery, we provide that capability, right? So Cloud SQL Federation allows you to, in real time, access data in your relational databases from BigQuery execution engine using your familiar BigQuery SQL. And of course, we support Parquet and Org Federation, which means that you can run BigQuery right on top of your data lakes. And finally, your data may be living in these other service providers like Stripe, Marketo. Maybe you have Google internal data sets that live within AdWords, within YouTube, and so on and so forth. How do you get that data into your data warehouse so you can enrich it and you can join it against your other relevant business data? Well, we provide hundreds of connectors that are very, very easy to configure, very easy to set up, and we take care of the rest. Right? Once your connection is set up, we simply move that data into BigQuery on your behalf, and now you can do advanced analytics on it.
Perfect. And this is just a subset or summary of all the different capabilities that we are announcing. We know there is not enough time in 30 minutes or 35 minutes for us to cover everything. There is a lot of other sessions. There are 30 plus sessions that are happening, so that you should be able to get deep dives into all of these different topics, as well as hear more about different aspects of the roadmap. I do want to highlight one of the ESG studies. BigQuery is providing the lowest total cost of ownership for our customers across the globe. I will highly recommend looking at the study and then trying BigQuery out. And finally, we are the leaders in all the different Magic Quadrants from Gartner as well as Forrester Waves over last couple of years. This is one example. But one of the things I want to close today by telling you is when COVID-19 hit, I know the whole globe, everybody is fighting the new pandemic. A lot of organizations came to us. They wanted to get access to data, and we were able to go ahead and make 20 plus data sets available, globally accessible, shareable in BigQuery. We were able to go ahead and make all the computation on top of that free until I think later part of the year. The key thing is BigQuery does provide us this platform that we can share data, share insights with the globe, not just within organizations. And then that's really a great feeling from the team's perspective. We want to thank you today for joining us and hearing what's new in BigQuery. Thank you.